5 o'clock on your Thursday, and we open with breaking news coming out of Aurora. Just in the last 2 hours, one person has been killed, 3 more hurt in a shooting in Aurora. Again, it happened sometime around 3 o'clock in the area of Colfax and Jamaica. That's just east of Havana.
Aurora police are working to develop more information about a possible suspect. We have a crew on the scene, and they'll be sharing information. We'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. The latest on other breaking news: 4 fires still burning along the Front Range, 3 of them still growing. The largest is the Alexander fire that's burning in Larimer County, has been since Monday.
Just last hour, we learned there that at least 24 structures have been damaged, some of them destroyed. We're continuing our team coverage tonight with new details on each of those fires. The other 3 being the Quarry Fire in Jefferson County, the Stone Canyon Fire in Boulder County, and the Lakeshore Fire also in Boulder County.
We want to start with our Kelly Rinke, who was at the news conference in Loveland this afternoon when they talked about the damage caused by the Alexander fire. And Kelly, officials say those structures damaged are in the immediate area of Palisade Mountain Drive and Snowtop Drive in Drake.
Yeah, Kim and Tom, just to give you an idea of where we are east of that fire line. Most of our view this afternoon has been of that haze of smoke. Behind this ridge is where we find ranches and neighborhoods, including the one where firefighters found about 24 damaged structures. Fire crews say that doesn't necessarily mean 24 homes. That number also includes smaller structures on a property. Damage assessment teams will go to that area at Palisade Mountain Drive and Snowtop Drive tomorrow to learn which homeowners they need to connect with. At this point, the containment of this fire is at 0%, according to fire officials this afternoon. Crews say right now the areas of Storm Mountain and Cedar Park are the most threatened by the flames. There are so many resources in this rugged terrain, in the sky and on the ground, including hotshot crews at the fire line.
It allows them to work more autonomously, and it also allows us to, for lack of a better term, give them a longer leash. They have the experience and the training and the expertise. Let them go out there and take the initiative.
A Dude Ranch west of Loveland, Sylvan Dale Ranch, is in the mandatory evacuation zone. On Monday, staff and volunteers helped move more than 50 horses to another property about 2 miles away. 2 horses were seriously injured on the drive over, fell through the floorboard of a trailer. At one point, there was concern they had to be put down, but they had surgery and thankfully will be okay. Sylvan Dale Ranch has been under threat of wildfire before. They evacuated back in 2020 during the Cameron Peak fire.
Those guys, it affects their primary revenue is lodging and horseback rides and activities from guests. So when they're unable to get people at the ranch to stay and ride horses, it hits their bottom line pretty hard.
This fire has burned more than 8,000 acres since Monday. More than 5,000 people are under a mandatory evacuation order, but fire officials say those orders are fluid at this point and they may change in the coming days. Live in Loveland, I'm Kelly Rinke, 9 News.
Thanks, Kelly.
We turn now to the Quarry Fire burning in the southwest metro area. That started on Tuesday night. 4 firefighters suffered from heat exhaustion. One of them also suffered a seizure as well.
Well, now we want to get to our Lauren Scafidi, who is joining us from that fire. And Lauren, they are throwing everything at that today.
Yeah, Kim, they really are, including these helicopters. We've seen them alternate back and forth, coming down into the water, picking some up and then dropping it on the fire that is visibly calmer today. A lot less smoke than yesterday. Still, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they have a long battle ahead of them. The Sheriff's Office is so thankful for the 155 firefighters on the ground today, double the amount of yesterday. They say the air support is huge, but how they beat this fire is with boots on the ground. Still no structures lost. The closest the fire is to a home is a 1/4 mile away. Deer Creek Mesa, Sampson, Maxwell, McKinney Ranch, Murphy Gulch, and Custer are all under a mandatory evacuation. Silver Ranch South, Ullman Park, Hilldale Pines, and West Ranch are under a pre-evac. This shelter is set up at Dakota Ridge High School as plenty of people watch the fire swallow up hundreds of acres of land. One neighbor who evacuated from McKinney Ranch told me he just couldn't stomach to watch it.
We think it's too miserable for us to be watching. It's not, we don't want to be spectators on our own misery,
Or anybody else's misery.
On anybody else's misery.
Looks like that helicopter is about to take up off of the water and back into the foothills. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office doesn't know when they can let people into their homes yet. They say if you do get back to your house once this is lifted and you see some furniture disappearing or maybe a trench dug up around your home, not to worry, they're just doing some work ahead of the fire getting any closer to those homes. Live in Jefferson County, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
All right, thank you, Lauren. They're making progress.
Now we turn to Boulder County, where the crews continue to work on 2 fires there. The larger one, of course, the Stone Canyon fire north of Lyons. That's burned more than 1,500 acres. Firefighters now claim 20% containment. That is a fire, though, that's already killed 1 person and damaged at least 5 structures. Some good news today. The Steamboat Valley and Stone Canyon neighborhoods were given the all clear this afternoon.
And good news about that other fire in Boulder County, the Lakeshore fire. It broke out near Gross Reservoir yesterday afternoon. About this time, fire managers say they're still in the mopping up stage today. It did burn 7 acres. 2 structures were damaged, including 1 home that looked like it was lost. Sheriff's investigators say it was human caused. It was accidental. They're waiting for more details. Several Front Range counties now have Stage 2 fire restrictions. The biggest change for Stage 2, that means no campfires at all, not even in a fire pit.
So you want to make sure that you check your county's fire restrictions and make sure you're careful as well. It only takes a second to notice how much smoke is in our air. This is the look from the top of the Four Seasons in downtown Denver. It has been thick up and down the Front Range over the past few days. But so far, there are at least 2 big events that are still going on, like the Guster concert at Red Rocks tonight. That's only 10 miles from the Quarry fire. And the Niwot Summer Concert Series, not too far from the Stone Canyon fire, is still on as of now.
Air quality index, Denver was listed as the 11th worst air in the world at 11 a.m. The ranking has still improved, but it's still pretty bad at this point.
Yeah, let's talk about the air quality, how it's measured, and where we're going from here with Corey Reppenhagen. Corey?
Hey, yeah, it's still pretty ugly out here, but, say 20 to 30 minutes of exposure is probably not going to have too much of an impact on someone like me with healthy lungs. But we're all made differently, and we all feel the impacts of that smoke in different ways. But the air quality has reached some pretty unusually high levels, which means more people will feel those impacts. Now take a look at this. This is the AQI index, or the air quality index, and on Thursday it broke 150 for the 6th time this summer, which puts it right on par with 2020 and 2021 in terms of the worst air quality years. Now, when the AQI breaks 150, it means that the air is hazardous to everyone, not just the people with sensitive lungs or pre-existing respiratory problems. Now take a look at this. This is the area where the air quality alert is. That means at anywhere in this zone, the air quality could reach unhealthy for sensitive groups. But the forecast does get more specific. For instance, the worst air quality today was in the Denver Boulder area, and that will continue through the night, and that's because that's where the smoke is pooling, and that's where the ozone pollution is also located in the highest concentrations. Now the forecast for Friday is for a little bit better, a little bit more of a clearing situation on Friday, which means the AQI is forecast to stay below that 150 mark. Now keep in mind that it takes a while sometimes for the smoke to build up in your lungs and your respiratory system, and it can stay that way for several days, which means you could go to an outdoor concert for 4 hours tonight and not really feel the symptoms, the sickness from the smoke until several hours later, or even the next day. Now, let's get over to get some more weather information from my 9 News Weather Impact Team partner, Lauren Robinson. Lauren, take it away.
Yeah, well, we do have that air quality. That's an issue, but we're also going to continue to watch for those wildfires. Now, to the south, we are seeing some much needed moisture, scattered showers and storms across far southern and southeastern corners of Colorado. A couple of these storms did have severe thunderstorm warnings attached to them. Those have been allowed to expire, but this is where we're going to expect most of that moisture today. Unfortunately, we're not expecting any of those showers or storms to make their way northward enough to hit any of the wildfires that are burning right now. So we're going to continue continue to watch for hot, dry conditions here. And for another day in a row, our calm winds have really been a bit of a saving grace. Now, temperatures stayed very hot. We were in the upper 90s, especially areas where we're seeing those fires. We saw 99 degrees so far at DIA. We take a look at our relative humidity, still very dry out there, between 10 to 20%, which is very dry. And then as we take a look at our wind gusts, mostly under 20 miles per hour. That's been the one good thing over the last few days while we're battling those fires. But something to note, our newest drought monitor has been released, and so we are seeing severe drought extended all the way from Broomfield through north of Fort Collins. Notice this is where 3 of our 4 fires are active. So I'll have more details on this, plus when we will see some storms in our 7-day forecast. All of that for you just ahead.